This is my collection of Ruin figures from Alice Madness Returns. The first one, hard to spot, right here, if I can get a hold of it, is the Slithering Ruin. I'll try to bring it into the light so you can see the front of it. Fairly easy to build. Anyways, that's the reason why I have a piece on top is because the piece in the middle has a stud piece with a stud with a hole through the center of it, so I wanted to cover that up. So this is the Slithering Ruin. You can mount it, as you can see here, on a minifigure platform, but I chose not to because it would look funny. Anyways, I put my finger behind the front of it so you can see the dome I used. If you want to know what that was in the background, it's Fantasia 1940. It's playing in the background. It's the intermission part. Now this ruin, you can probably guess which one this is. This is the Insidious Ruin. You can tell by the gangly hands. Now, before you ask, I did not have a Victorian doll headpiece, so I went ahead and used a skull piece for the head. Now, it was supposed to have lots of little pipes behind it, but I couldn't find the hairpiece that I was going to use for it. So instead, I just used I used one of these pieces. I don't know if you can see it very well, but anyways, all the ruin in the game, it's not correct, but all the ruin in the game have 4 legs, not 3. I counted. So anyways, that's the Insidious Ruin. You can see I used different pieces for the hands. You know, I used robot claw pieces for the hands, and I used those new hinge pieces for the arms. They are posable. You can't really see it real well, but I can move them up and down. Also, the torso is posable, not very much, but a little bit. He can turn his torso side to side, so you can strike Alice with his hands. But anyways, that's the Insidious Ruin. My personal favorite, actually not my personal favorite, but this one is the Drifting Ruin. I tried to make the back as best I could. It wasn't easy because I had to work with different parts. But there's his head in the center, and around him are the 4 doll arms. As you can see, I use white robot arm and claw pieces to make them. And yeah, that's the Drifting Ruin, I should say. It's the Drifting Ruin. It's fairly easy to build, but if you don't know what you're doing, it's hard. And that's that for that one. My personal favorite is this one. This big fella is the Menacing Ruin. I don't know if you can see his legs real well. I'll try to pick him up gently so you can see. You can see the 4 legs there. One of them is misshapen because that's the way it looks in the game. He does stand up perfectly well, even though he looks imbalanced, unbalanced. I used the same doll arms, and I also used some white hinge pieces, new ones, for the doll arms that act as a shield. You can see just barely on the 3 heads, what I did for the 3 heads. Also, yeah, I just moved his torso a little bit. He is posable, mostly. You can pose his head up and you can pose his torso up and down. You can, as you can see, I have his arm posed in a pose ready to swipe at Alice. I don't have Alice yet, but I'm hoping to get her, hoping to build her soon. Anyways, if you look at the back, or at least part of the back, you can see that I tried to make the piping on his back that, you know, look something like the piping that you see on him during the game. Is not completely accurate, but it's close enough. I'll show you the back of it so you can see what it looks like. All right, that's the back of him. I had to work with what I had available to me. Here's the side, so you can see what I did for the side of him. No, the legs were actually not that much of a challenge. Whoops, he's a little drunk. Sorry about that. He fell over. But anyhow, that's the Menacing Ruin right there. So that's all I have to say. If you have any questions, please ask me in the comments below. Okay? Thank you and goodbye.